Hey, welcome back, everybody. Time for our week 4 power rankings, and we have some movement for sure. First of all, we kind of did a flip flop. Last week, the Saints and Jags moved into the top 10, the Bengals and Lions moved out. This week, I'm flip flopping them. The Bengals and Lions back into the top 10, Saints and Jags, who both lost, fell out. And in my green room, outside looking in, the Seahawks, the Steelers, and the Commanders, who got blasted by the Bills. That was a surprise to me. So, two new teams in the top 10 and a shakeup throughout the rest. And let's get started. And I was really hoping the Rams could creep into the green room, but they let us down. Maybe in a few weeks, they will rise again, and we'll be talking about them as potential entrants into the top 10. We can only hope. My number 10 team, the Cincinnati Bengals, just the one win, the two losses, but their defense, they played very well against the Rams, and if Joe Burrow can get healthy, stay healthy, this is a dangerous team. Remember, they're the defending AFC North champions. They've been to a Super Bowl and an AFC championship in the last 2 years, and they've actually improved, in my opinion. So Bengals are my number 10 team. My number 9 team, the Detroit Lions at 2-1. Now, the Lions, I was starting to question maybe we were overrating them, and then they handled the Falcons pretty easily. And I like what's going on in Detroit. Big game Thursday night at Green Bay, and that will be a big indicator of how this NFC North is going to shake out. Not sure who I'm picking quite yet on that one. My number 8 team, the Baltimore Ravens, fall to 2-1. They fall from number 4 all the way to number 8. A really disappointing performance, and they, I don't know, I had them as one of my serious Super Bowl contenders, but losing to the Colts like that, not very reassuring for the Raven faithful, that's for sure. And they travel to Cleveland, and that's a big game. Two very good football teams. Another team that fell quite a bit, my number 7 team, the Dallas Cowboys at 2-1. They fall from 2 all the way to 7. Their offense especially just could not get anything done in the red zone against the Cardinals. Cardinals defense played really well, and they moved the ball on that supposedly elite Cowboy defense. They host the Patriots. I think the Cowboys will get good against the Patriots, get well, and get back in the win column. My number 6 team, a team I can't quite figure out, the Cleveland Browns, 2-1. They handled the Titans pretty easily after losing Nick Chubb, so give them credit. They were number 8 last week. They pop up 2 spots. And another big game, as I said, already mentioned, they're playing the Ravens, and this is probably the game of the week. We'll have to see how that shakes out. Should be an interesting game. My number 5 team, the Buffalo Bills, they jump up 2 spots with a big, easy win over the Commanders, so they're at 2-1 now. An AFC East showdown, the Dolphins and Bills. Is that an attractive game or what? That'll be fun to watch. Probably be pretty high scoring, I'm guessing. Now, the Eagles dropped from 3 to number 4, even though they won, even though they're undefeated, even though they beat the Bucs, and the Bucs, I think, are a mirage. They're, in that division, they're going to compete for a playoff spot because that South is so weak. They all lost last week. But the Eagles have not really jumped off the screen and impressed me yet this year, and the 3 teams above them have. So I actually dropped the Eagles 1 spot, and I'm not trying to dismiss them at all. They're a very good football team. And I think we're going to hear from them in the playoffs for sure. They'll be there. They're going to win that division. Feel pretty confident about that. And a tough division it is. Jumping up from number 5 to number 3 is the Kansas City Chiefs. They improved to 2-1. And they basically had a bye playing the Bears at home. And now they play at New York, at the Jets. And the Jets are a team that's scrambling. Not a good time for them to be playing the Chiefs, but I'll take the Chiefs big time in that one. Jets defense is good though. They may be able to figure out a way to slow down this Chiefs offensive machine. And my number 2 team, the Miami Dolphins, jumping up from number 6, 3-0 now. Hey, I was tempted to move them up to number 1 because that offense, man, I'd like to see them do that 2 weeks in a row. They struggled a little bit against the Patriots, lit up the Broncos, though. Devin Achane, another piece to that machine there. Man, the Bills, Dolphins, that's going to be fun. The Dolphins I think Mike McDaniel is a very, very good coach. A little awkward, a little bit off in a lot of ways, but hey, they are getting it done. And the 49ers remain my number 1 team. Another 30-point output for the offense. And they really haven't been threatened. I mean, the Rams kind of hung with them late into the third quarter. Rams, interestingly, have given them the biggest fight so far. The Cardinals coming off a win. Cardinals travel to Santa Clara to play the 49ers, and that might be a little closer than you think. Now, when I say a little closer, that doesn't mean a 3-point game. Maybe it's going to be an 8 or 9-point game. This Cardinal team, something going on there in Arizona. I think the Cardinals and the Texans, 2 teams that everybody was writing off, actually both look like they're pretty competitive. So I don't know what the point spread is on that yet. I'll talk about that when we get to our game picks. I'm not picking the Cardinals in this one, but if they're getting significant points, I might be tempted to take them. 49ers will get the win, though. That is my Week 4 power rankings, my top 10. Bit of a shakeup. Bengals and Lions back into the top 10. A couple of teams dropping like a rock, and a couple of teams really proving themselves, looking like. Who are the elite teams right now? I consider everybody to be a Super Bowl contender. Well, for the most part, maybe there's a few teams you can count out. But, the elite teams right now are clearly the 49ers, Dolphins, Chiefs, Eagles, maybe the Bills, Browns, Cowboys, Ravens, chasing them. And then you have the next group, the Lions, Bengals, Saints, Jags, those types of teams. That's it. Out here for now. Hope you enjoyed that.